For us, it is an honor to have you around here. Our wish is that the secrets of the sages of ancient India, taught by the renowned yogi Sadhguru, be a powerful tool of self-transformation in your inner journey. Get to know our yoga course by clicking on the link that is in the description of this video and learn more.
Dear friends, today I want to talk to you about something deeply fundamental, something that has the power to transform the way you experience life. It is something so simple yet so profound that many of us forget it amidst the hustle noise of everyday living. Self-awareness. Self-awareness is the foundation of a meaningful life. It is the ability to observe your own thoughts, emotions, and actions from a place of objectivity. In a world that constantly demands your attention, the skill of self-awareness is often overlooked, yet it is the most powerful tool you possess. It allows you to see beyond the surface level of your existence and to understand the deeper currents that drive you. To be truly self-aware is to be in tune with your inner world, the silent, ever-present awareness of who you are, what you want, and why you feel the way you do. In the fast-paced rhythm of modern life, many people live on autopilot. They go through their days performing actions and fulfilling obligations without ever pausing to reflect on what they are truly doing or why. It is as if they are living in response to external triggers, society's demands, family expectations, work pressures, without ever stepping back to question if those things align with their deepest self. This lack of self-awareness can lead to a life that feels disconnected, hollow, or unfulfilled. You find yourself chasing after goals that may not even be yours, living a life that feels more like a series of obligations than an expression of your true nature. True self-awareness begins with a willingness to stop and listen, to really pay attention to your own inner world. It requires you to turn inward and observe without judgment or distraction what is happening within you. What are you feeling? What thoughts are arising in your mind? Why are you responding in certain ways to specific situations or people? The answers to these questions lie within you, but they can only emerge when you take the time to be still and listen. It's important to note that self-awareness is not about self-criticism or over-analysis. It is not about scrutinizing every mistake or flaw, but rather about acknowledging the present moment and accepting it as it is. It's about observing your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without being attached to them or allowing them to define you. By doing so, you create space for clarity, understanding, and growth. The practice of self-awareness begins with mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of paying attention to the present moment without distraction, judgment, or expectation. This practice helps you develop a deeper understanding of your mental, emotional patterns, allowing you to see how your thoughts influence your actions and how those actions shape your experience. For example, when you are aware of a stressful thought or an emotional reaction, you can choose to respond from a place of calm rather than being swept away by impulse or habit. You can begin to choose more intentional actions, those that align with your true self, rather than reacting unconsciously to external circumstances. One of the most significant benefits of self-awareness is that it allows you to live authentically. When you are in touch with who you truly are, you can make decisions that align with your values, your needs, and your aspirations, rather than succumbing to pressure or influence from others. Self-awareness removes the layers of conditioning and expectation that may have shaped your behavior for years, revealing the core of who you are beneath the surface. It allows you to discern what is truly important to you and to pursue goals and relationships that reflect your authentic self. Moreover, self-awareness fosters emotional intelligence. By becoming aware of your emotions as they arise, you can manage them more effectively. Instead of allowing negative emotions like anger, fear, or sadness to dictate your actions, self-awareness gives you the space to process and release them in healthy ways. This emotional clarity helps you navigate relationships, work environments, and life challenges with greater resilience and understanding. Self-awareness also invites a sense of responsibility. It teaches you to recognize that your thoughts, emotions, and actions are not just random occurrences, they are reflections of the choices you make. In being self-aware, you acknowledge that you have the power to shape your experience, that your responses are within your control, and that you are responsible for creating the life you desire. It empowers you to take ownership of your actions, to align them with your values, and to cultivate a life that reflects your deepest truth. As you deepen your self-awareness, you will notice a shift in your perspective. The world around you may remain the same, but your experience of it will transform. You will begin to see patterns in your behavior, to recognize the impact of your thoughts and actions on your life, and to understand how you relate to others. With this insight, you can make choices that support your growth, your well-being, and your peace of mind. Self-care is often misunderstood as a luxury or indulgence, something we partake in only when we have extra time or resources. In reality, it is an essential practice for maintaining balance, clarity, and well-being in our lives. Self-care is not a one-time event or a temporary fix, but a continuous commitment to nourish and restore your body, mind, and spirit. It is the act of ensuring that you are in optimal condition to handle life's demands, pursue your goals, and contribute to the world around you from a place of fullness rather than depletion. At its core, self-care is about giving yourself the space and resources you need to thrive. It is the recognition that your health, happiness, and energy are fundamental to everything you do. Without a solid foundation of self-care, you are like a plant without sunlight, water, or soil. You may survive for a time, but eventually you will wither. And yet, many people overlook self-care, believing that taking time for themselves is selfish or unnecessary. They may prioritize their work, relationships, or external responsibilities over their own well-being, not realizing that this constant sacrifice eventually leads to burnout, exhaustion, and dissatisfaction. Self-care starts with physical well-being. Your body is the vessel that carries you through life, and it requires care and attention to function at its best. Proper nutrition, exercise, and rest are the pillars of a healthy body. It's easy to take your body for granted when it functions well, but when it begins to break down, you realize just how vital it is to prioritize its care. Eating nourishing food, staying hydrated, moving regularly, and getting enough sleep are simple yet incredibly important ways to maintain physical health. These practices not only fuel your body, but also have a profound effect on your mental clarity, emotional stability, and overall energy levels. Equally important is taking care of your mental and emotional health. Your mind and emotions are intricately linked to your physical well-being, and neglecting them can lead to a variety of issues from stress and anxiety to chronic fatigue and illness. Mental and emotional self-care involves recognizing when you are overwhelmed, stressed, or exhausted, and giving yourself permission to take a break. It might mean saying no to extra commitments, delegating tasks, or simply stepping away from a situation to restore your equilibrium. It also involves engaging in activities that soothe and replenish you, such as meditation, mindfulness, journaling, or creative expression. These practices allow you to release tension, process your emotions, and regain clarity and calm. Self-care also extends to nurturing your spirit, your deeper sense of self. It is about reconnecting with the aspects of life that bring you joy, purpose, and meaning. This could be spending time in nature, engaging in spiritual practices, pursuing a passion, or simply being in the presence of people who inspire and uplift you. When you neglect your spiritual and emotional needs, you can easily fall into a state of apathy, disconnection, or frustration. But when you engage in activities that feed your spirit, you tap into a deeper source of energy and inspiration that sustains you through challenges and setbacks. One of the most powerful aspects of self-care is its ability to create balance. Life is a constant balancing act between responsibilities, relationships, and personal needs. Without self-care, it's easy to tip the scale in favor of external demands, leading to stress, resentment, and fatigue. But when you make self-care a priority, you restore balance in your life. You begin to recognize that it's not about doing more or achieving more, but about maintaining a harmonious flow between your personal needs and your responsibilities. This balance allows you to be present, engaged, and productive, while also ensuring that you have the energy and mental clarity to enjoy life. A key component of self-care is self-compassion. This is the practice of treating yourself with kindness, patience, and understanding, especially in times of difficulty or when you feel you've fallen short. We are often our harshest critics, holding ourselves to unrealistically high standards. But self-compassion involves embracing your imperfections and offering yourself the same care and support you would offer to a loved one. It means forgiving yourself for mistakes, understanding that you are a work in progress, and allowing yourself the space to grow and evolve. It's important to remember that self-care is not about perfection. It's not about creating a flawless routine or being constantly at your best. It's about the ongoing practice of listening to your needs, responding with kindness and patience, and making choices that nourish you. This might mean making small, daily adjustments or larger, more intentional changes, depending on where you are in life. But the key is to make self-care a non-negotiable part of your routine, a foundational practice that ensures you remain healthy, grounded, and capable of thriving. Authenticity is a concept that has become increasingly important in our world, yet many people struggle to understand what it truly means. It is easy to confuse authenticity with being open or honest, but authenticity goes deeper. To live authentically means to express yourself in alignment with your innermost truths, values, and beliefs. It means allowing your true nature to be visible in all aspects of your life, without succumbing to external pressures or adopting false identities to fit in or gain approval. The world around us often encourages us to wear masks. Society has many expectations of how we should look, behave, and think. From a young age, we are taught to meet these expectations to gain acceptance, to be praised, or to avoid judgment. Over time, we begin to internalize these expectations, and in the process, we start to lose sight of who we truly are. We start shaping ourselves to fit the image that others want to see, rather than embracing the uniqueness of who we are. This leads to a disconnection from our authentic self, and the more we suppress our true nature, the more we feel alienated from ourselves. Living authentically is about peeling away those layers of conditioning, those masks we wear to fit in, and returning to our core. It involves accepting all parts of ourselves, the strengths, the weaknesses, the imperfections, the vulnerabilities. It is about giving up the need for external validation and allowing ourselves to be who we truly are, regardless of how others may perceive us. When we do this, we create a life that is rooted in honesty and integrity. The first step toward authenticity is self-awareness. Without a deep understanding of who you are, it is impossible to live authentically. Self-awareness allows you to recognize the beliefs, desires, and values that define you, separate from those imposed by others. It helps you understand what makes you feel fulfilled and what drains your energy. It allows you to identify the areas in your life where you may be living inauthentically, perhaps by following a career path that does not align with your passions, or staying in relationships that no longer serve your well-being. Being authentic also requires courage. It takes bravery to stand in your truth, especially when doing so might lead to judgment, rejection, or conflict. The fear of being judged or misunderstood often holds people back from being their true selves. But living authentically means choosing to be honest with yourself, even if it feels uncomfortable. It means finding the strength to say no to what doesn't serve you and yes to what aligns with your heart. This courage enables you to show up as you are in all your vulnerability without pretending to be someone you are not. One of the biggest obstacles to authenticity is the tendency to compare ourselves to others. In a world that values external success, we often find ourselves measuring our worth against the achievements and lives of those around us. Social media, in particular, amplifies this tendency, presenting curated versions of other people's lives that make us feel as though we are falling short. However, true authenticity comes from within, not from what others are doing or how they are living. It is about being honest with yourself about what success, happiness, and fulfillment mean for you, not for anyone else. In the pursuit of authenticity, it is also essential to understand that it does not mean disregarding the feelings or needs of others. Being authentic does not give you the license to be rude, insensitive, or inconsiderate. It means being true to yourself while also remaining empathetic and respectful toward those around you. Authenticity is not about being self-centered or detached from the world. It is about showing up in your interactions with honesty and integrity while also recognizing that others have their own truths to express. Living authentically also requires alignment with your values. When your actions are consistent with your beliefs and values, you experience a sense of inner harmony. When there is a disconnect between who you are and what you do, it creates internal conflict and dissatisfaction. For example, if you value honesty but constantly find yourself lying to protect someone else's feelings, There is a misalignment between your actions and your authentic self. Authenticity involves being true to your values even when it is challenging or inconvenient. When you embrace authenticity, something profound happens. You begin to attract the people and opportunities that align with your true self. You no longer have to chase validation or success because your energy is magnetic in its honesty. Authenticity fosters deep connections with others because it creates an environment of trust and openness. People are drawn to those who are genuine because they feel safe in their presence. Living authentically is not a destination but a lifelong process. It requires ongoing reflection, courage, and willingness to let go of outdated beliefs or patterns that no longer serve you. It demands constant self-honesty and the freedom to evolve. But when you commit to living authentically, you free yourself from the chains of expectation and live in a way that is true to who you are, not who you think you should be. Abundance is a mindset, a way of seeing and experiencing the world that goes beyond the material. It is not simply the accumulation of wealth or possessions, but the deep recognition that life is full of opportunities, possibilities, and resources available to those who choose to open themselves to them. The abundance mindset invites you to move away from a scarcity-based approach to life, where you believe that resources are limited and you must fight for your share. Instead, it encourages you to understand that there is more than enough to go around for everyone, and that by aligning with this truth, you will naturally draw more prosperity into your life. When you operate from a mindset of scarcity, you view life as a zero-sum game. You see others' success as a threat to your own, and you constantly worry about running out of time, money, or opportunities. You may experience feelings of fear, jealousy, or anxiety, believing that if others succeed, there will be less for you. This belief system often leads to competition, comparison, and a constant state of stress or dissatisfaction. It can trap you in a cycle of striving and struggling where no matter how much you achieve, it never feels like enough. On the other hand, an abundance mindset comes from a place of trust and openness. It recognizes that the universe operates on principles of growth, expansion, and flow. There is a limitless potential for creativity, wealth, love, and success. And by aligning yourself with this flow, you become a magnet for these things. Rather than competing with others or fearing that you will not have enough, you begin to focus on what is already available to you and open yourself to even more. The abundance mindset allows you to be grateful for what you have while simultaneously attracting more of what you desire. One of the core aspects of the abundance mindset is gratitude. When you are grateful for what you already have, you acknowledge the abundance that already exists in your life. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to plenty, from what is missing to what is present. It helps you recognize the small blessings that are often overlooked: the health of your body, the love of family and friends, the opportunities you have, the natural beauty around you. When you cultivate a deep sense of gratitude, you begin to see the world differently. You begin to recognize that everything you need is already within reach. And by appreciating it, you invite more to come into your life. Abundance is also deeply connected to the idea of generosity. When you operate from a place of abundance, you are more likely to share your time, energy, and resources with others. You understand that by giving, you are not depleting yourself, but instead expanding the flow of prosperity. The more you give, whether it's through acts of kindness, sharing knowledge, or helping others, you begin to experience the truth that giving only creates more opportunities for receiving. This reciprocity is one of the fundamental principles of abundance. The more you are willing to contribute to the well-being of others, the more you invite the universe to support you in return. Another important component of abundance is the belief in your own worth. Often people struggle to embrace abundance because they do not feel worthy of it. They believe they have to work harder or prove themselves to earn success or prosperity. But abundance is not about deserving, it is about allowing. The universe does not hold back based on your perceived worthiness. It flows freely to those who are open to receiving it. When you recognize your inherent value and step into your life with confidence and trust, you naturally attract the abundance that is aligned with your energy. You are not chasing after it, you are allowing it to come to you, trusting that you deserve all the good things life has to offer. This mindset of abundance also extends to time. Many people feel that there is never enough time to do everything they want to do, and they rush through life in a state of constant urgency. However, the abundance of time is available to you when you shift your perspective. Time is not something that is running out, it is something that can be expanded. By organizing your priorities, being present in the moment, and trusting that there is enough time to do what is necessary, you create more space in your life. Time becomes a resource that works in your favor rather than something that controls or limits you. Abundance is not just about material wealth, though that is often the most obvious form it takes. True abundance includes emotional richness, relationships filled with love, support, and connection, mental richness, clarity, creativity, and peace of mind, and spiritual richness, a deep sense of purpose, inner fulfillment, and alignment with your higher self. When you align all areas of your life with the principles of abundance, you begin to experience a deeper sense of fulfillment. You no longer need to chase after external markers of success or happiness because you realize that the true wealth lies within. By embracing an abundance mindset, you open yourself to new opportunities, new experiences, and new possibilities. You stop limiting yourself with the belief that there is only so much to go around, and start to recognize that there is infinite potential waiting for you. The key to abundance is not striving or chasing, but allowing. It is about trusting in the flow of life and knowing that what is meant for you will come at the right time. Responsibility is a concept often associated with duty or obligation, but it encompasses much more than merely fulfilling external demands or meeting societal expectations. At its core, responsibility is about ownership, owning your actions, choices, and the outcomes they create. It means recognizing that you are architect of your own life and that the quality of your experience is directly shaped by the decisions you make and how you respond to the world around you. Responsibility is an empowering force, one that allows you to take control of your circumstances rather than feeling like a passive participant in your own life. The first aspect of responsibility is personal ownership. This means understanding that while you cannot control everything that happens to you, you are always in control of how you respond to what occurs. Life will always present challenges, setbacks, and unexpected events, but the way you react to these situations is entirely your choice. When you take responsibility for your reactions, you no longer blame external circumstances, people, or even yourself for what happens. Instead, you focus on how you can respond in a constructive, thoughtful, and empowered way. This shift in perspective allows you to move away from a victim mentality where you feel helpless or at the mercy of life's unpredictability, and instead embrace an empowered mindset where you realize that every situation is an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. Responsibility is also about taking full ownership of your own well-being. Many people spend a significant portion of their lives blaming others for their unhappiness, dissatisfaction, or struggles. They point fingers at circumstances, upbringing, or external factors as the reason for their difficulties. While it is true that certain external conditions may have shaped your life, ultimate responsibility lies with you. Your happiness, health, and success are not determined by external forces, but by the choices you make on a daily basis. When you take responsibility for your own well-being, you acknowledge that your mental, physical, and emotional states are the result of how you treat yourself. This means adopting healthy habits, nurturing your mind, setting boundaries, and creating an environment that supports your growth and happiness. By taking full responsibility for your own life, you empower yourself to create the conditions that will lead to fulfillment and peace. One of the most challenging aspects of responsibility is accepting the consequences of your actions. Whether positive or negative, every action you take has a ripple effect, and it is important to recognize that you are accountable for those effects. In a world that often encourages deflection of blame, taking responsibility requires courage and integrity. When things don't go as planned or when mistakes are made, it's easy to shift blame to others or make excuses. However, true growth comes from owning your decisions even when they lead to undesirable outcomes. By acknowledging your role in every situation, you can reflect on what went wrong, what could have been done differently, and what lessons you can take forward into the future. This process of self-reflection and accountability is essential for personal development. as it teaches you to make better choices and avoid repeating the same patterns. Responsibility also involves being accountable to others. While personal responsibility is important, so is the responsibility you hold in your relationships, communities, and work environments. When you interact with others, your actions and words have an impact. Taking responsibility in relationships means being honest, transparent, and reliable. It means being present, listening actively, and acknowledging your role in any conflicts or misunderstandings. By being accountable to others, you build trust, foster mutual respect, and create deeper connections. Responsibility in relationships extends beyond just fulfilling promises. It involves emotional responsibility, being attuned to the needs and feelings of feeling support when needed. In the professional world, responsibility means showing up with integrity, commitment, and a sense of ownership. It means taking initiative, being proactive, and delivering on your commitments. Professional responsibility is not just about meeting expectations, but about taking pride in your work and contributing to the success of the collective effort. It involves recognizing that your contributions, no matter how small they may seem, have a larger impact on the team, the organization, and even society at large. When you take responsibility for your work, you become a reliable, trustworthy, and valued individual in any professional setting. Another important aspect of responsibility is environmental responsibility. The world around us is a reflection of the choices we make, whether it's how we treat nature, how we consume resources, or how we contribute to the well-being of our communities. Responsibility extends beyond the self to the collective, and understanding that the choices we make today will shape the future for others is a critical realization. Whether it's making sustainable choices, volunteering your time to help others, or simply being mindful of how your actions impact the environment, responsibility is a shared endeavor that transcends personal gain. Responsibility also calls for self-discipline. It requires that you consistently make choices that align with your values, even when it's challenging. Self-discipline is the ability to act in accordance with your long-term goals rather than succumbing to short-term impulses or distractions. It is the commitment to show up, to take action, and to persist in the face of obstacles. By cultivating self-discipline, you reinforce your ability to create the life you desire, and you learn to manage your time, energy, and resources in a way that serves your highest aspirations. Ultimately, responsibility is about realizing that you are the creator of your own experience. It is about embracing your power to shape your life while acknowledging the impact you have on those around you. By taking full responsibility for your thoughts, actions, and the consequences they create, you transform your experience from one of external control to one of internal mastery. This sense of ownership, accountability, and integrity not only leads to personal growth, but also contributes to a more compassionate, empowered, and interconnected world. Courage is often seen as the ability to act in the face of fear, yet its true nature goes beyond simply overcoming fear. Courage is the strength to follow your inner truth, to step into the unknown, and to make decisions that align with your deepest values, regardless of the external challenges or risks. It is the willingness to face the discomfort of uncertainty and vulnerability and to move forward with determination, even when the outcome is unclear. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to move through it and act despite it. The first layer of courage involves facing your fears. Fear is a natural part of being human. It is a survival mechanism that alerts us to potential danger. However, fear can also become a barrier preventing us from pursuing our dreams, living authentically, or taking risks. Often, we allow fear to dictate our actions. It stops us from trying new things, taking the first step toward a goal, or speaking up for what we believe in. But true courage lies not in eliminating fear, but in acknowledging it, feeling it, and proceeding in spite of it. When you embrace fear as a natural part of life, you stop allowing it to control you, and instead you use it as a signal that you are pushing beyond your comfort zone and growing. Another important aspect of courage is the ability to stand up for what is right, even when it is unpopular or difficult. The world often asks us to conform, to follow the crowd, and to keep quiet when we know something is unjust. But courage requires us to speak our truth even when it challenges the status quo. This may mean advocating for yourself in situations where others might dismiss your needs, or stepping forward to support a cause or person who cannot speak for themselves. Standing up for what is right despite the consequences demands bravery. It involves being willing to endure judgment, rejection, or even criticism in order to align with your values and make a positive difference in the world. Courage is also essential when it comes to change. Change, whether it is personal or external, can be intimidating. It calls for the willingness to let go of the old, the familiar, and the comfortable in order to embrace the new. This could mean changing careers, ending a relationship, or challenging old belief systems that no longer serve you. The unknown can be a terrifying place, and the fear of failure or making the wrong choice often paralyzes people from taking the first step. Yet, courage is the force that propels you forward even in the face of uncertainty. It is the understanding that growth and transformation are born out of discomfort, and that the potential for something greater lies on the other side of fear. Courage is not just about big, dramatic actions, it is also about the small, everyday acts of bravery that require you to face the unknown and take risks. It is about showing up even when you don't feel ready or confident, and taking action even when you are unsure of the outcome. Every day, you are presented with opportunities to exercise courage, whether it's having a difficult conversation, trying something new, or facing a challenge head-on. These small acts accumulate over time, building your inner strength and resilience and reinforcing your ability to trust yourself and your decisions. Another critical dimension of courage is the courage to fail. Failure is often seen as something to be avoided at all costs. We fear the embarrassment, the loss, or the judgment that can come with it. But true courage is the willingness to fail, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. Failure is an inevitable part of life, and it is often through failure that we gain the greatest insights and growth. When you have the courage to fail, you shift your perspective from seeing mistakes as setbacks to seeing them as opportunities for learning and improvement. This mindset allows you to take risks without the fear holding you back, knowing that every failure is a step toward greater mastery. Courage also requires self-compassion. It takes courage to accept yourself fully, to embrace your imperfections, and to recognize that your worth is not defined by your successes or failures. Self-compassion allows you to be gentle with yourself when you fall short, and to continue moving forward despite the setbacks or doubts you may encounter. This is not about avoiding challenges or choosing the path of least resistance, but about treating yourself with kindness and understanding as you navigate the inevitable difficulties that life presents. Courage, in this sense, becomes a practice of showing up for yourself and trusting in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. One of the most transformative aspects of courage is the way it inspires others. When you act with courage, when you follow your path despite fear, you give others permission to do the same. Courage is contagious. It creates a ripple effect that encourages those around you to step out of their comfort zones and take bold actions in their own lives. By living courageously, you model the power of embracing fear and uncertainty, and you help create a world where people are empowered to live authentically and pursue their dreams. Ultimately, courage is about embracing the fullness of life. It is the willingness to be vulnerable, to take risks, and to trust in your own strength. It allows you to confront fear, take action, and pursue a life that is aligned with your true self. The more you practice courage, the more it becomes a natural part of who you are. And the more you will find that you are capable of achieving the impossible, overcoming any obstacle, and stepping into the fullness of your potential. In life, you owe it to yourself to embrace your full potential, to live authentically, and to recognize the abundance that exists in every moment. Taking responsibility for your actions and decisions is the foundation upon which you build a life of purpose and fulfillment. It requires courage to step into the unknown, to face fear, and to stay true to your values despite the challenges that may arise. Each of these qualities, self-care, authenticity, abundance, responsibility, and courage, work together to create a life that is not just lived, but deeply experienced. When you fully step into your own power, recognizing that you are the creator of your own life, you unlock the endless possibilities that await you. This is not just a gift to the world, but a gift to yourself, a recognition that you are deserving of all the joy, growth, and opportunities that come your way. You owe it to yourself to live a life that reflects the truth of who you are. And in doing so, you open the door to a world that is abundant, fulfilling, and full of meaning. Ladies and gentlemen, today we stand at a time in history where we can't help but notice the great energy of the world. And there is one force in particular that has shaped the course of civilization for centuries: America. A nation that has not only risen from the ashes of its past, but continues to burn with an intensity that cannot be easily extinguished. Today, I want to share with you 3 reasons why America is a fire that is unstoppable. Vision is the catalyst that propels any nation toward greatness. It is the spark that ignites the engine of progress, the unseen force that moves people toward higher ideals and goals. In the case of America, this vision has been an enduring thread throughout its history. From the very beginning, America was born out of a dream, a bold vision of what could be, a place where freedom, opportunity, and innovation could thrive. This vision wasn't just about surviving, it was about creating something new, something that had never been seen before in the world. At the core of this vision was a belief in possibility, a belief that the future could be better than the past. The founding fathers imagined a nation built on the principles of liberty and justice, a place where individuals had the freedom to pursue their own happiness. This vision set the foundation for everything that followed. It wasn't enough to simply build a country. It was about creating an idea that could stand the test of time, an idea that would inspire people to strive for something greater than themselves. But vision alone is not enough. For vision to take root, it requires action. In America, this vision has been continuously driven by individuals who are not satisfied with the status quo, individuals who saw the world differently and pushed for change. People like Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Steve Jobs, and countless others didn't just dream of a different world, they acted upon it. They took risks, faced immense challenges, and sometimes failed. But each time they failed, they learned. Each time they fell, they rose again, driven by the vision that there was something more to achieve. This relentless pursuit of progress is what has fueled America's rise to prominence on the world stage. But vision is not a static force. It evolves, it transforms, and it adapts. Over time, as the nation grew, so too did its vision. What began as a quest for independence from a colonial power expanded into a broader vision of democracy, one that could extend across the entire world. As the country encountered new challenges, the vision evolved to meet them. The abolition of slavery, the civil rights movement, the women's suffrage movement, each of these was a response to the vision's evolution, a step forward in making the ideal of equality and liberty more inclusive, more reflective of the diverse reality of the American population. The ability to adapt the vision in the face of changing circumstances is what makes it so powerful. It is one of the reasons why America's fire is unstoppable. A rigid vision can only go so far, but a flexible one that can evolve with time, can grow and expand in ways that are impossible to predict. This adaptability has allowed America to remain relevant even as the world around it has changed. The vision that was once focused on creating a new nation has expanded into a global vision, one where the values of freedom, democracy, and human rights are championed on the world stage. However, it is important to note that vision is not always clear-cut. It is not a neatly packaged plan that everyone agrees on from the start. Often, it is a collection of competing ideas and conflicting goals, all striving to find their place in the larger narrative of the nation's future. This is where the true strength of America's vision lies. Its ability to allow space for differing perspectives while still moving forward as a unified force. The debates, the struggles, the tensions. These are not signs of weakness, but of a living, breathing vision that is constantly being refined and reshaped. The power of vision in America is that it continually draws people from all corners of the world to be part of something greater than themselves. It creates a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging, and a sense that by working toward this vision, individuals can contribute to something larger than their own lives. This sense of purpose is what transforms a country from a mere collection of people into a unified force capable of achieving remarkable things. America's fire is unstoppable because it is fueled by a vision that refuses to be extinguished. It is a vision that adapts to the times but never loses sight of the core ideals that gave birth to the nation. It is a vision that continues to evolve, expanding its reach and deepening its impact. And most importantly, it is a vision that inspires action. A vision that moves people to work, to create, to build, and to dream beyond the confines of their own limitations. Diversity is often seen as a challenge, something that creates friction and divides people. But in the context of America, diversity is not a hindrance. It is one of the most powerful forces driving its success. America has been, from its inception, a melting pot of different cultures, traditions and ideas. This blending of the old and the new, the familiar and the foreign, has created a unique synergy that fuels the nation's progress. It is not just a passive collection of differences. It is an active, dynamic force that constantly reshapes the nation and the world. When people from different walks of life come together, they bring with them their own perspectives, their own experiences, and their own knowledge. These varied elements combine to form something greater than the sum of their parts. Each group adds its own distinctive flavor to the American experience, and this mixing of cultures has created an environment where new ideas can emerge, where innovation can thrive, and where solutions to complex problems can be found. This diversity of thought and perspective has led to breakthroughs in every field, from science and technology to art and social progress. It is within this rich tapestry of cultures and ideas that America's most significant achievements have been born. One of the most striking aspects of American diversity is its ability to foster creativity and innovation. When people from different backgrounds work together, they often approach problems from unique angles. This cross-pollination of ideas leads to fresh solutions and new ways of thinking. America's technological advancements, its creative industries, and its cultural exports all owe their success to the diversity. Silicon Valley, for example, is home to some of the world's most groundbreaking companies, and it thrives on the contributions of individuals from all over the world. The very nature of the American dream is rooted in this idea that anyone, regardless of where they come from, can contribute to the collective success of the nation. But diversity in America isn't just about the blending of cultures, it's also about the merging of values and beliefs. The nation is home to a wide range of religious, political and social ideologies. This pluralism is not a weakness, rather it is a testament to the strength of the nation's framework. The founding principles of America, based on freedom and the pursuit of happiness, provide the space for people to hold different beliefs without fear of persecution. This allows for a constant exchange of ideas and a constant challenge to the status quo. In a society where multiple perspectives are allowed to flourish, progress is inevitable. Even when conflict arises, it is within this tension that growth occurs. The ability to debate, to disagree, and to find common ground is a crucial aspect of America's success. Furthermore, diversity in America is not just about the people who have come to its shores, but also about how the nation has responded to the challenges posed by this diversity. Over time, America has struggled with issues of inequality, racism, and exclusion. Yet, even in the face of these challenges, the nation has been able to evolve and expand its definition of who belongs and who has a voice. Movements for civil rights, gender equality, and LGBTQ+ rights have all been rooted in the belief that every individual, regardless of their background, deserves an equal opportunity to thrive. The ability to adapt to these changing ideals and integrate them into the national consciousness is what makes America's diversity so powerful. In a world that is increasingly interconnected, the strength of diversity cannot be underestimated. As global challenges grow more complex, the ability to bring together people from different cultures, backgrounds, and disciplines becomes ever more essential. America, with its history of embracing diversity, is uniquely positioned to lead in this new era. The blending of different perspectives is not just an internal asset, it is an outward strength that allows America to navigate the complexities of the global landscape with agility and innovation. The fire of diversity in America is a fire that cannot be extinguished. It is a force that grows stronger with every new wave of immigrants, with every new idea that challenges old ways of thinking. It is a force that pushes the nation forward, continually transforming it into something greater than it was before. This diversity is not something to be feared or resisted. It is the fuel that keeps America's fire burning bright. And as long as this fire continues to burn, America will remain a beacon of possibility and progress. Resilience is a quality that lies at the heart of any enduring civilization, and it is perhaps the most defining trait of America. In the face of adversity, America has always found a way to rise, not just to survive, but to emerge stronger. It is easy to romanticize the concept of resilience, to view it as something that happens in isolated moments of hardship. But true resilience is not about merely overcoming challenges, it is about learning, adapting, and growing from them. This is the core of America's unshakable strength. Throughout its history, America has been tested time and time again. From the fight for independence to the Civil War, from the Great Depression to the Civil Rights Movement, the country has faced internal and external conflicts that have threatened to tear it apart. Yet each time, America has managed to endure and rebuild. It has faced these challenges with a spirit of determination, a refusal to be defeated by the circumstances. This resilience is rooted in a belief that no matter how difficult the present moment may be, the future can always be better. It is a belief that even in the darkest times, there is a way forward. One of the reasons resilience is so ingrained in the American identity is that it is built into the nation's founding principles. The very idea of America, the notion of a new world, was itself a leap of faith. It was a vision of something that had never been tried before, a nation founded on the principles of liberty, equality, and self-determination. These ideas were revolutionary at the time, and they inspired generations of Americans to take risks, to push boundaries, and to keep striving for a better future. The pursuit of the American dream is itself a testament to resilience. It is the idea that anyone, regardless of their starting point in life, can overcome obstacles and achieve success. But resilience is not just about individual triumphs. It is also about collective strength. During times of crisis, when the nation has been tested as a whole, Americans have come together to face challenges with unity and solidarity. Whether it was the aftermath of 9/11, the economic hardships of the Great Depression, or the battles fought for civil rights, the American people have consistently shown that they are capable of coming together in the face of adversity. This collective resilience is what has allowed the nation to weather storms, both literal and metaphorical, and to emerge on the other side with renewed purpose. Part of what makes America's resilience so unique is its ability to adapt. In the face of challenges, the nation does not remain static. It does not cling to old ways of thinking or outdated systems. Instead, America has shown an incredible capacity to change, to evolve, and to reinvent itself. This adaptability is a key aspect of resilience. It is the ability to respond to new realities, to learn from the past, and to apply that knowledge to build a better future. Whether it is in the realm of technology, social justice, or politics, America has a long history of reinventing itself to meet the needs of the times. Resilience also comes from the capacity to turn setbacks into opportunities. Throughout its history, America has faced moments of profound failure, but these failures have often been the starting points for great achievements. The Great Depression, for example, was a time of immense suffering, but it also gave rise to the New Deal, a series of reforms that reshaped the American economy and social fabric. Similarly, the struggles for civil rights, though painful and fraught with resistance, led to profound social and legislative changes that have transformed the nation. In these instances, the setbacks were not viewed as insurmountable barriers. They were seen as challenges to be overcome, and they were met with the kind of resilience that leads to lasting change. America's resilience is not just about bouncing back from challenges. It is about using those challenges to create a better, more inclusive society. The nation's capacity to adapt, learn, and grow in the face of adversity has allowed it to evolve in ways that many other nations have not. It is this quality that has kept America moving forward, even when the path has seemed unclear or obstructed. The resilience of America is not just a matter of enduring hardship, it is a matter of thriving in the face of it. This resilience is a fire that cannot be quenched. It burns through hardship, through loss, through failure. It fuels the drive to keep moving forward no matter the obstacles, and as long as America continues to face its challenges with this spirit of resilience, the fire will continue to burn, lighting the way for future generations to follow. The ability to adapt and evolve is one of the defining features that makes America's fire unstoppable. It is often said that change is the only constant in life, and America has mastered the art of embracing change even when faced with uncertainty. The strength of any nation lies not just in its stability, but in its capacity to adjust to new realities, to take risks and to redefine its direction when the old paths no longer serve its purpose. This adaptability is woven into the very fabric of the American spirit, allowing the country to grow, thrive, and remain relevant in an ever-changing world. America's ability to evolve begins with the foundational belief that the world is not static, that progress is inevitable and must be pursued relentlessly. From the earliest days of the nation's history, there has been a deep understanding that the future cannot be predicted or controlled, but that it can be shaped by those willing to take bold action. The nation was founded on the idea that it could stand apart from the old world and create something new, something that was not bound by the constraints. This belief in the possibility of transformation is what has fueled America's ability to adapt and reinvent itself in the face of challenges. Perhaps one of the clearest demonstrations of this adaptability is found in America's political system. The Constitution, while a timeless document that established the country's foundational principles, has been able to evolve through amendments and reinterpretations, ensuring that it remains relevant in the modern world. The system of checks and balances that was designed to limit the power of any one branch of government has allowed for continued growth and progress without compromising the nation's core values. The very process of change is embedded in America's governing structure, allowing it to adjust to new circumstances without losing sight of the ideals that the nation was built upon. Moreover, America's adaptability is not limited to the realm of politics. It extends into its economy, its culture, and its social structures. Over time, America has faced numerous economic shifts, from the agrarian economy of its early days to the Industrial Revolution to the digital age of the 21st century. Each of these transitions has required the nation to re-evaluate its systems, its priorities, and its role in the world. The country has managed to stay ahead of the curve by embracing technological advancements, welcoming new industries, and fostering an environment where innovation can thrive. This spirit of constant reinvention is what has allowed America to remain a leader in global affairs. Despite the inevitable changes in the world order, America's adaptability is also reflected in its cultural landscape. The country has always been a place of great diversity, with people from all over the world coming together to build a new society. This diversity has never been a barrier to growth, but rather a catalyst for creativity, innovation, and progress. As the nation has evolved, so too have its cultural expressions. New forms of art, music, literature, and entertainment have continuously emerged, often drawing from the rich tapestry of different cultural influences. America's cultural adaptability has allowed it to remain a global leader in shaping the arts, influencing trends, and reflecting the complexities of the world. Socially, America has also shown an ability to evolve in response to the changing needs of its people. Throughout its history, the country has faced deep divisions and inequalities. However, it has demonstrated an ongoing commitment to addressing these issues even when progress has been slow or met with resistance. The civil rights movement, the women's suffrage movement, the fight for LGBTQ+ rights. These are all examples of how America has confronted its shortcomings, reevaluated its beliefs, and made changes that align more closely with its founding ideals of equality and justice. The ability to continuously question and challenge its own systems, to confront uncomfortable truths, and to push for change is what has allowed America to evolve into a more inclusive and progressive nation. Adaptability, however, is not a passive process. It requires vision, courage, and the willingness to take risks. America's leaders, innovators, and ordinary citizens have consistently demonstrated a commitment to shaping the future even when the path ahead is unclear. This drive to adapt and evolve is what has enabled America to face challenges head-on, to reinvent itself when necessary, and to keep moving forward in the face of adversity. It is not the absence of difficulty or change that defines America's fire. It is the ability to embrace change and emerge stronger as a result. In a world that is increasingly interconnected and rapidly changing, the ability to adapt is more crucial than ever. America's capacity for adaptation ensures that it remains agile, forward-thinking, whether it's navigating global shifts, responding to technological advancements, or addressing social inequalities. America's fire will continue to burn as long as it remains willing to adapt, evolve, and redefine itself in pursuit of a better future. The idea of a collective dream is one of the most powerful forces that drives a nation forward. In America, this dream is not merely a shared goal, but a fundamental part of the country's identity. It is the underlying force that unites people from all walks of life, propelling them toward a common vision, no matter how different their individual paths may be. This collective dream is more than a simple aspiration for success. It is an enduring belief that through determination and effort, anyone can achieve greatness, no matter their background or circumstances. At the heart of the American dream is the idea that opportunity is not restricted by birthright, class, or tradition. It is the belief that every person has the potential to shape their own future. This belief has inspired millions of people to leave their homes, to cross oceans and continents in search of a new life. It is a dream that transcends geography, culture, and time, drawing people from across the globe to a land where, for generations, America has been a beacon of hope, a place where individuals are encouraged to pursue their passions, to take risks, and to redefine what is possible. This collective dream is not a singular vision, but a tapestry woven from countless individual aspirations. Each person brings their own dreams to America, contributing to a broader narrative that is constantly evolving. It is a dream that has changed over time, reflecting the shifting needs and desires of each generation. The dream of the early settlers, for example, was rooted in the pursuit of religious freedom and independence. As the nation grew, the dream expanded to include economic prosperity, scientific innovation, and social equality. Today, the dream encompasses a wide range of possibilities, from personal fulfillment and self-expression to global leadership and environmental sustainability. What remains constant, however, is the belief that anything is possible and that anyone willing to work hard enough can carve out a place for themselves in this grand vision. This collective dream has been the driving force behind America's most significant achievements. It has fueled the nation's rise to prominence in every field: science, technology, industry, culture, and beyond. It is the reason why Americans, both past and present, are driven to innovate, to push the boundaries of what is known, and to constantly strive for improvement. The collective dream has inspired America to become the birthplace of some of the world's most transformative ideas, from the founding of the nation itself, to the creation of the internet, to the development of groundbreaking medical treatments. However, the power of this collective dream is not just in the achievements it has led to, it is in its ability to unite people despite their differences. America's strength lies in its diversity, and the collective dream is the thread that ties together the many cultures, languages, and traditions that make up the nation. Even as individuals pursue their personal goals, they are bound by a shared belief in the potential for success. This common vision fosters collaboration, cooperation, and a sense of belonging, making it possible for people to come together in the pursuit of a greater good. The collective dream becomes a force that transcends individual ambition, channeling energy and resources toward the common goal of progress. But the dream is not without its challenges. It is a dream that has faced obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. There have been times when the pursuit of this dream has been marred by inequality, injustice, and division. Yet, even in the face of adversity, the collective dream persists. It is a dream that has adapted and evolved, expanding its reach and deepening its inclusiveness. The struggles for civil rights, gender equality, and economic fairness have all been a part of the journey toward realizing the dream for everyone, not just a privileged few. The challenges faced by those striving for the American dream only serve to highlight the dream's enduring power and the nation's ability to grow and change in response to its shortcomings. The beauty of the collective dream is that it is not limited by time or circumstance. It is a dream that is continuously renewed, passed down from one generation to the next, each time with a new sense of purpose and possibility. It is a dream that evolves alongside the nation, shifting with the challenges and opportunities of the time. The dream of today may look different from the dream of yesterday, but at its core, it remains the same. A belief in the power of the individual to shape their own destiny and contribute to the greater good. This collective dream is the foundation upon which America's fire is built. It is the force that drives the nation forward, propelling it toward new heights of innovation, progress and achievement. As long as this dream persists, as long as the belief in opportunity and possibility endures, the fire of America will continue to burn brightly. It is a fire that cannot be extinguished because it is fueled by the collective aspirations of millions of people who believe in the power of dreams, the strength of unity and the potential for a better tomorrow. America's ability to rise after adversity is one of the most remarkable aspects of its identity. Time and time again, the nation has faced immense challenges, crises that could have shattered lesser civilizations. But instead of succumbing to defeat, America has used these moments as opportunities to rebuild, rethink, and re-emerge stronger than ever. This resilience is not just about overcoming the obstacles themselves, but about the deeper transformation that occurs in the process. America's strength lies not in the absence of hardship, but in its ability to face hardship, learn from it, and emerge better equipped for the future. The nation's history is filled with examples of this ability to rise from adversity. One of the most defining moments came during the Great Depression. In the early 1930s, America faced an economic collapse of unprecedented scale. Millions were unemployed, banks failed, and families were displaced. Many feared that the nation might never recover from such a devastating blow. Yet, it was in the midst of this crisis that America's ability to adapt and rebuild was tested to its limits. Through the leadership of Franklin D. Roosevelt and the implementation of the New Deal, the country began to recover, not just through economic reforms, but through the very spirit of determination and collective action. The hardships of the Depression led to the creation of lasting programs and policies that reshaped America's economy, expanded its social safety nets, and prepared the nation for future growth. Similarly, America's experience during the Civil War was a defining moment in its ability to rise from conflict. The nation was torn apart, embroiled in a brutal and bloody war that pitted brother against brother. The loss of life and the deep divisions that arose threatened to tear the country asunder. Yet, after the war, America embarked on a period of reconstruction, striving to heal the wounds of a fractured nation. The process was painful, fraught with challenges, and far from perfect. But it marked a turning point in the nation's history, where the ideal of a united country began to take root in ways it had never before. The aftermath of the Civil War laid the groundwork for the eventual expansion of civil rights, even though it would take decades for the full realization of these rights for all Americans. The ability to rise after adversity is also evident in the nation's response to the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001. In the wake of that tragedy, America was shaken to its core. Thousands of lives were lost, the nation's sense of security was shattered, and the world seemed forever changed. But instead of allowing fear and sorrow to define its future, America responded with a resolve that would have been unimaginable to many in the days following the attacks. The nation rebuilt its sense of unity, not just in the physical sense, but emotionally and spiritually as well. The days and weeks following the attacks saw an outpouring of support, a renewed sense of purpose, and a collective determination to overcome the trauma and create a future of greater security and peace. America's ability to rise is not confined to moments of national crises. It is reflected in the everyday lives of its people as well. Throughout the history of the nation, individual Americans have faced personal adversity, poverty, illness, loss, and yet they continue to rise. The same spirit that drove the nation through its most trying times is present in the stories of countless individuals who refuse to give up, who continue to push forward in pursuit of their dreams. These personal stories mirror the larger narrative of America's collective strength, showing that the resilience of a nation is ultimately the sum of the resilience of its people. The ability to rise after adversity is deeply tied to the values that underpin America's identity. It is a nation founded on the belief that no matter how difficult the circumstances, there is always hope for a better future. It is a belief in the potential for growth, for change, for improvement. This optimism, this unwavering belief that progress is possible has driven the nation to overcome obstacles and emerge stronger after every challenge. Whether it's economic hardship, social injustice, or international conflict, the American spirit refuses to be defeated by the circumstances. What makes Americans' capacity to rise after adversity so unique is that it is not a passive process. It is an active, intentional effort to learn from mistakes, to correct course and to improve. It is about taking the lessons of the past and using them to create a better tomorrow. This ability to learn and grow from adversity is what has allowed America to remain relevant, dynamic, and powerful in the face of change. It ensures that no matter what challenges lie ahead, the nation will continue to rise and thrive, fueled by the unshakable belief in its potential and its ability to overcome whatever obstacles it may face. In reflecting on the relentless drive of America, we see that its fire is truly unstoppable because it is built on a foundation of vision, diversity, resilience, adaptability, collective dreams, and the strength to rise from adversity. These elements intertwine to create a dynamic force that propels the nation forward no matter the challenges it faces. The vision that sparked the nation's birth continues to guide its evolution, while its diversity fuels creativity and innovation. America's resilience, both at the individual and collective level, allows it to learn and grow from every setback. Its ability to adapt to new circumstances and rethink its direction has ensured that it remains relevant in an ever-changing world. The collective dream of its people, grounded in hope and possibility, continues to inspire action and progress. And perhaps most significantly, America's ability to rise after adversity proves that its fire is not merely sustained by the winds of fortune, but by the unyielding spirit of those who refuse to be defeated. This combination of elements ensures that America will continue to move forward, its fire burning ever brighter, as long as its people remain committed to the ideal that have made this nation great.
Of all the things in the world, of all the things that a human being can do, why yoga? Everything that human beings can do is essentially an expression of who they are. Somebody sings a song, somebody dances, somebody writes a book, somebody paints a picture. Whatever else we do is an expression of who you are. You may be conscious of it, you may be unconscious of it, but still everything that you say, everything that you do, everything that comes out of you is essentially an expression of who you are. So yoga, in that way, is diametrically opposite to this, because it's not an expression of who you are. It's about determining as to who you are. It's about determining as to what you want to be. Changing the very fundamentals of one's existence. Today, there is substantial medical and scientific evidence to show that the very fundamentals of the activity of your brain, your chemistry, even your genetic content can be changed by practicing different systems of yoga. This needed no confirmation because we've always witnessed this. But today there is scientific data to prove this. So this is not an expression of who you are. This is about determining the nature of who you wish to be. Changing the fundamental ingredients which has made you who you are. So yoga as a system needs much more involvement than any other things that any other forms of things that we do, which are merely an expression of who we are. If you find full expression through any particular activity, it may also leave you somewhat transformed. If you cook with all your heart, some transformation may happen. Yes, taking care of a cow can change your life, you know. If you sing with all your heart, some transformation may happen. If you dance with all your heart, some transformation may happen. But that is only a certain impact that is happening because of absolute involvement in a particular activity. But essentially that activity by nature is an expression of who you are. It is not determining the nature of who you are. So when we transform our activity, not as an expression of who we are, because who wants to find expression like this in the morning? Definitely not, isn't it? So, it is not an expression, it is a method, it is a means, it's a technology through which you can change the shape of who you are. Literally also, otherwise also. You can change the very shape of who you really are right now. That can be transformed. Because who you are right now as a person is a combination of things. Genetic material, before that, the karmic substance that you carry. Because of that, you chose a certain womb, so the genetic material. And since the moment you were born, whatever kind of impressions that have gone into you in the form of variety of experiences, situations, thoughts, emotions, relationships, associations, whatever else you have imbibed, all these things make you a certain kind of person. When you say, I am a certain kind of person, what you're saying is, I have this kind of compulsions. When you say, I am this kind of person, what you're saying is, this is the kind of compulsions that I identify myself with, so I am this kind of a person. People, you know, it's a very Western thing, but it's very much there in India today, because a lot of Indians are far more Western than West. You know, if you go all the way west, you come back to India. So they are much more Western than Westerners are today. So people say, I'm a morning person, I'm an evening person. So what they mean is, morning, I cannot wake up in the morning. That means I'm an evening person. I can't stay awake in the evening, so I'm a morning person. Not only that, people… it's going far, you know, some are BlackBerry people, some are Apple people. It's all world is getting divided in so many ways. They're not just instruments that you use and keep it down, it's… you get identified with it. So there are chapati people, there are rice people, there are dosa people, there are idli people, you know, all kinds. So, what kind you are is essentially a certain type of compulsions. So you set yourself into the process of yoga because you don't want to be this kind or that kind. That you will be the kind that you're required to be in a particular moment. If it's morning, you're a morning person. If it's evening, you're a evening person. If you're not required to be a person, you're not a person. That is, you become flexible. This flexibility, we start working with your body to start with. Afterwards, it should come to every aspect of your life. Your physical structure, your psychological structure, your emotional structure, your karmic structure, everything should become flexible, that it can be whatever it is required to be. It is not stuck being this way or that way. So yoga as a process, yoga as a method, yoga as a technology, yoga as a science is essentially to break the limitations of a certain concretization that happens, which we call as personality. To evolve from being a person to a presence. If you're a person, that means you have made a shell out of yourself. You formed a shell, within that shell only you can operate. If you break this shell, you will no more be a person, but simply a presence. As life is, as God is, just a presence. If it can be encased in a shell, it becomes a person. So yoga means slowly you're working on making this shell thinner and thinner, more and more porous, that one day you can exist without a shell. So essentially, in your experience, yoga means morning. Why the sadhana, the way it is. All aspects of physicality are cyclical in the universe. Planets are going around the sun, the solar system are moving, everything in the galaxy, in the cosmos is cyclical. The more and more you're identified with your physical system, the more and more cyclical you are also. Your experiences are cyclical, the process of life is cyclical. If you watch carefully enough, even the situations that you face in your life come in cycles. So yoga means, on one level, to break the cycle of life. What is a circle right now, we want to open it up and make it a straight line. Because if you're going in circles, if I say you're going in circles, what does it mean to you? You're not going anywhere. It just gives you an impression that you're going somewhere, but you're not really going anywhere, you're going through the same thing again and again. So yoga means to open up the circle and stretch it out like a straight line, that if you follow the line, you go somewhere, you're not going round and round. Nature is not going to release you so simply. You have to work at it and work at it and work at it. Otherwise, you must be happy doing the circle. A circle also can be described as a circus. If you become conscious, the whole thing looks like a circus. If you are not conscious, you can only see 3 feet in front of you, then it's all real. If you can see the whole circle of your life, suddenly it becomes like a circus. Once you realize it's a circus, you don't want to go through the circus again and again. Only if your vision is too limited, you can see only 3 feet in front of you, everything is real for you. If you open up and see the whole circle, the way you're going, it looks like a circus and definitely you don't want it to continue forever, you want to do something about it. So these cycles, these repetitive cycles of compulsiveness is coming because there are various types of memories in the system. Memories, karmic memories, information essentially means memory, isn't it? It is the foundations of information that we carry which has constructed this body the way it is. To live in it and not to be off it will not come easy. I'm not saying it's difficult, but it needs to be worked at. The sadhana is just about this. However simple the sadhana is, every day if it is worked at, slowly one can see a certain level of freedom happening within you step by step, maybe inch by inch, maybe micromillimeter by micromillimeter, but nobody can say it is not releasing you, it will slowly release you. If you want to go rapidly, a lot more to do. You don't mind going slowly, something to do.
The grace of yoga is always upon you. Just keep yourself open. Keeping yourself open means keep your normal concerns aside. Who is thinking what about you, what is happening, what is not happening for you, just leave that aside. You're breathing, you're alive, this is the greatest thing. Become available to the grace of yoga. This will become a fantastic thing. It's not far away, it's within you.